All right, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another Real Talk video. I pray everybody's doing well as we thank the Most High for so much. This is a video response back to you, Gangster143. I love your email. Like you say, um, coming from the streets, how you grew up, and you was looking at one of my old videos on how so many young people try to be hard. I ain't no punk. I live the street life. Now, I want to say this in this video, and I mean everything I'm about to say out of love, and I hope I can get a lot of young people to catch what I'm saying in this video. Most men in our race are locked up. Most of our youngsters, young men, are on the streets. Some been buried in the ground, and then some are still just, like I say, they slanging. And they have this mentality that I gotta be hard. I did a video not too long ago called "You Just Surviving, but You Haven't Learned How to Live." Now, I get these emails all the time. Somebody was asking me about my thoughts about Kevin Gates and some other few rappers and people that's known real big. Let me say this, and I'm gonna use Charles Dutton for an example. If you know Charles Dutton, if you're familiar with the old show Rock, Charles Dutton is a hell of an actor, hell of a producer. When Charles Dutton was locked up in the penitentiary, Charles Dutton said something that was very powerful. They asked him why he wouldn't put no pictures on the wall. Charles Dutton had a blank cell, no pictures, nothing. And inmates and guards was asking them, "Hey man, why you don't have nothing up?" And Charles Dutton said, "Because I don't plan on making this my home." He learned his lesson. There was another guy that just got out not too long ago. I can't recall his name at the moment, excuse me, but he did 36 years in the penitentiary, innocent. DNA came and proved him innocent, found after all these years. He said, although I was locked up in prison, I didn't let the penitentiary have my mind. Now, why am I saying that? Because a real man is not going to boast and brag on being locked up. He learns from it. He don't even want to halfway talk about it. I got partners of mine, man, that have done serious time. I ain't talking about 5 years and 3 years, 2 years. I'm talking about 20 and plus. And they don't talk. They don't even want to talk about it. They don't even want to remember that side of their life. And usually the one that go around that's always got to talk about what they doing, how they doing it, and bragging about it is the biggest snitch. We used to say coming up, the loudest one sang like a bird when they get in trouble. I don't know why men that do this think they gotta tell people how hard they is all the time. In reality, a lot of times that main one is the first one to get knocked out. The first one, when it come down to it, they really wasn't about nothing. But then I gotta say this: there are some young men, because of how rough their neighborhood is, they gotta act hard. Because if they don't act hard and show weakness, they can't even walk up and down the block on their street going to the store without one of them gangsters testing them. So that's the reason why some of them have to play that hard role, and they could be coming from a good home, mama and daddy there. But they'll say, man, if I don't act this certain way, they're gonna keep trying me on the streets. They're gonna keep trying to punk me. So that's the difference that you see. But these ones that's always bragging about how many women they sleeping with, how much dope they selling, how thuggish they is, I pay that no attention half the time. See, I grew up around real killers. They wasn't just talking about it. They'll do it. Like Peanut. Peanut been gone for years. When they start bringing that Fire Deuce Hoover Crip down here to Texas, it hit Dallas real hard. Blue rag, yellow rag, people died. You know. Then there was, of course, a lot of perpetrators. But you will see one thing you will always see is perpetrators, and then you'll see the people that really put in work. But most of the men that I know, and it's a lot of them that have gotten out of the penitentiary, they don't even want to talk about it. And they'll say, I don't want to go back. I learned my lesson. Now, if you don't learn your lesson, that's something totally different. And most of these young men out here with their pants sagging that think they hard, first time they get locked up in that penitentiary, it's going to show them how hard they really is. Because now you're going to be locked up with some real killers. You're going to be locked up with some booty takers. You're going to be locked up with some ones that ain't getting out. And see, reality going to really set in. And you're going to realize how wonderful you had it made before you got locked up. I'm reminded of something Pimp C said, rest his soul, from UGK, Underground Kings. Pimp C said, they all talk their talk, but when you get behind them bars and your homeboys ain't writing you no letters and they ain't putting no monies on your book, well, he say that's when it really sets in. He say ain't nobody rapping about that. See, we have lost so many men to the system. Regular prisons, private prisons. I keep telling people penitentiary is a business. That's big money. Now they building more and more private penitentiaries, and they laying off more and more workers and hiring in the inmates and pay them a quarter a day. Yeah, 13 cents a day. Hard labor. Prison has always been a business. Just like I say, religion has always been a business. War has always been a business. It makes money. And it takes money to make money. But not to jump off and all that. But when you gotta sit up here and boast and brag how bad you is, how hard you is, to me, something just ain't right up here. Something ain't right up here. I'm reminded of one of my partners, T, who T did time in prison. And when he got out, he came by and visited me. And he said, you know what, bro? That's a part of my life I don't never want to talk about. And then another partner of mine had got out of prison. He came over bragging about how hard he is, what his name was. And just to look at two of them from the penitentiary talk to each other, that whole conversation changed. Because he said, T said, let me tell you something, bro. I know cats like you that brag, do all that talking about how hard you is. He said, when they put you out there on their yard, you be the first one to go. He said, a real man that got out of the penitentiary is not going to brag and boast on how many years he did and think it's funny and going to keep talking about it. He said he's going to be quiet about it. And he learned from it. But that's the thing now. Because the streets teaches you to be hard. But really, how hard are they? You see what I'm saying? When that real trouble sets in and that real sentence that you get, when they say, here come 20 years, here come 15 years. See, most of my cousins been in the penitentiary. I got a lot of cousins did time. Some gonna be an old man when they get out. And it just, it's not the way to live your life. You really, when you look at it, you're just wasting your life. Well, I got a gun. A gun don't make you hard. See, the real struggle is being a man. Getting out here, providing the right way. Taking care of your family. Taking all the bumps and bruises from this world. And try to come home and still have your same mindset. Still have a peace of mind. when you living in chaos already, and then you want to turn around and get out here on the streets and have to look over your shoulder all the time, or worry about the next snitching on you and you being locked up, or somebody trying to come over and take over your spot. It's not a way to live. And I hope I can reach some of my, y'all know who y'all are on here. Well, man, I live that thug life. Well, look at the results of thug life. You're either gonna be dead or in the penitentiary. I was looking at this some kind of show just last night, and they was talking about how in our race of people, so many of us got felonies. Cause see, once young people listen to me, once you get into that system, you in there, buddy. And when you get them felonies, watch how hard it is to get a job. When you get them felonies, see how many people really want to hire you. And then you dropping babies over here, babies over there. You are ruining your life. I got some friends of mine, they 40 and up, and they saying now, man, when they look back over their life, what was I doing? Because when you stay in all that trouble, locked up in and out of jail, in and out of penitentiary, you missed out on your kids growing up. Then you know what they do? That raises up an angry child. Why my daddy always locked up? Why my daddy didn't want me? And the Bible say fathers don't provoke your child to anger. Fathers raise your children. How you gonna raise your child and you ain't there? You in the penitentiary, you in the grave. Most of the young men I know now, man, barely 32 years old and got 5 or 6 kids, 4 baby mamas, and ain't there for none of them. It don't look good as a man. But then I gotta realize most of the ones I'm talking about, they never had a father. They didn't have nobody to show them the ropes, which should make them want to be a better man than their father was. But it don't always work like that, do it? So I don't know who else I'm talking to in this video, but as I always tell my young brother Titus Taylor, you ain't got to fit in, fit out. Because them same homeboys you run with, when that trouble hit, you ain't gonna see them no more. They gone. I've seen people fall out behind stupid stuff. I see young people all the time jumping in and out of these vehicles, smoked out, license plate hanging, guns under the seat. You asking for trouble. Let me tell you something. In our race, it's hard enough trying to get out here and drive around and tend to your life without being stopped by the police already. I've been stopped 1,000,000 times for all the wrong reasons. I've never got stopped really for something I truly did because I obeyed the law. And I'm talking about me when I say 1,000,000 times since I was a young man up to now. When I first got my driver's license, I've been getting stopped and harassed by the police up to right now. So my other point is, stop giving these police officers a reason to pull you over when they already pull you over anyway. I race the people to say DWB, driving while black. That's the only reason they need. And I'm not saying that to say all police officers are bad. They're not. Not all of them. You got good ones. But don't give them no more reason already to pull you over. And you know you dirty. You know you ain't got no license. You know you smell like weed. You know you got guns in the car. So it ain't the one that's doing all that talking and bragging about how thuggish their lifestyle is. That's the hard one. It's the one that learned from it and ain't saying nothing at all. That's what I call the real thug. And if you've been watching me for years, you know what my definition of thug is. Be be a true hero under God. That's what my thug stand for. Thug, true hero under God. Be an example. Let other young people see your example. I got some friends of mine that been learned their lesson. They learned to get out the dope game. They learned that dope game had a bad ending to it. They got snitched on. They tried to rob them. It's either your life or theirs. So, and then I'm also say this: there are some people that ain't even in the penitentiary, but they in a spiritual prison. Their mind is locked up, and that's even worse. There's some in prison that got a better mindset than the ones that's set free. Because once your mind is gone, that's bad shape to be in. So to my youngsters out here with the pants sagging, gun toting, high all the time trying to run the women and sell dope and thinking that's the route to go, you're on a short lifespan. All you got to do is look at the example around you from everybody that lived that life. And it's only a few that come out of that. Some live to tell the story, and then most of them die in their sins. That penitentiary ain't no joke. You'll get in there, and you'll see the stabbing, the raping, the lies, the having to answer to somebody else to do everything. You better realize how good you got it made with your freedom. Cause really, free ain't free. Somebody catch that later. The freedom we got now don't even seem like freedom. So why would you want to go get locked up behind some bars with some boys? Some of them men got death row. Some of them men got 50, 60 years. Some of them men got double life. So you gonna become their vagina. Somebody catch that later. I ain't trying to scare you, but I'm trying to scare you. I'm gonna try to scare some of that hell up out of your life. I'm scaring the hell out of you. Because as we would say growing up, you ain't careful, you'll wind up being somebody's bitch. This is real talk. Straight from the heart. Straight out of love. Stop gambling with your soul. Stop thinking what you see on TV and these videos is the truth. Because let me tell you something. A lot of these rappers ain't what you think they are. A lot of them are in debt. A lot of them don't own half of that stuff you see in them videos. A lot of them borrow that stuff from the video. I'm telling you what the truth is. Some of them do have that big house in them car, but a lot of them are just perpetrating. They borrowed that jewelry. They borrowed that. They rented that car. They borrowed that house. They rented that house just to do that video because they got to show you the fortune and fame that they got. But in reality, most are being jacked by the record label like it's been doing for years. They are not really that rich like you think they are. They got the fame, but not the fortune. And I leave you with that. Take care and have a blessed day.